Guy, top producer realtor, Remax affiliates. Listen, number 3 realtor in Mount Airy, 100,000 club, 100K club. My guy, Kevin Coles, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How you?
Got into real estate. Your father was an investor, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were a teenager, right? You told your mom I wanted to become a real estate agent, right?
Correct. Yeah, we were looking for a house in, I want to say, the Abington area. So at that time, we was with an agent that was from Wykert, and I had told her, like, I think I'm going to become a real estate agent. And she was like, okay. And years later, that came into fruition.
Man, and then you also went to college as well, right?
Yeah, I did. So I attended Delaware State University. I went there, graduated all 4 years, got a degree, studied like political science. So that was like I think we said it before. That was one of the things that I went to school for, and I did that because I figured that was a way to make change. And it still is, just like in real estate. Real estate you make change.
Yeah, and that's because one of the main motivating factors for me is to be able to help people, educate people, encourage people, especially because I'm sitting with you and you have achieved something that and then it's your third year, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations on your third year, right?
Thanks. Yeah.
Let's go. Come on. So your third year, you reached the 100,000 club. So for me, the reason why real estate is so attractive is because this is somewhere where you can actually get a career without having to go to college for 4 years.
Agree.
All you need is a diploma, right?
Yeah, all you need is the certificate and the ability to foot forward every single time, and you'll be able to make endless amount of money in this industry.
Man, listen, and whatever you're passionate about, like keep chugging away at it, right? Because we were talking about this with Joey that one day, right? About is like, you want to do what you love, right?
Right, exactly. You definitely want to do what you love. You want to do something that you're passionate about. And I think, like I said, with my real estate career, it's been that. So I'm definitely passionate about real estate. I'm passionate about making a difference in people's lives, and that's what real estate has provided me the opportunity to do. So it provided me the opportunity to put people in a better space and for them to cultivate and create better environments for their family. So that's why in my real estate business, one of the things you were saying, like, even with that call that I just took, like, I take my real estate business very, very personal. My clients very, very personal, and try, any issues that they may have or may come up. I try to make sure that that's handled, So.
Absolutely. And we were also talking about the real estate market because you're an investor as well. How many doors you got?
5 doors as of right now.
5 doors. But not only do you have 5 doors, you're actually in the market yourself right now trying to buy a house.
Yes, I'm in the process of trying to purchase another property for my family, my 2 daughters and my fiance, and I went $30,000 over the asking price yesterday. This was yesterday, so I went $30,000 over the asking price. About 5 hours later, the agent got back to us and said that the property, the offer, they had 50 offers. And someone went $40,000 over the asking price. And as an agent, for myself, I really wanted the property. I tried to make the deal as sweet as possible, waiving inspections and things of that nature, because, we wanted the property. But somebody came in with a better offer, and that's the real estate market right now. The real estate market is someone will, you got to put your best foot forward and put the best offer in that you can for yourself. And one of the things we were talking about was, that, and again, that was a Delaware market, right? So the Philadelphia market is like that as well, depending, there's different price points and things of that nature, like we was talking about earlier, like Mount Airy, West Oak Lane. I'm starting to see some of those pretty much stable in a sense. We're starting to see prices kind of come down, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a demand, right?
Absolutely.
And so at certain price points, there's a little bit more of a demand than others. And it depends on whether, where the agent lists the property, if the property is listed correctly. So I think, there's not a lot of homes on the market. So the market is still going to be pushing forward.
Would you say we're still in a seller's market?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's not even a question. We're still definitely in the seller's market.
100%.
100%. Yep.
And now, like, for instance, I have a listing in 19141. That's the Logan area. And you gave me some advice about maybe to come down on the price, maybe offer a concession. Can you tell me about what you look for when you're actually helping your clients out to make an offer?
Yeah, so I think, well, one of the things is I try to consider what it is that they're looking for. So whatever it is that they're looking for, that's one of the things that we can try to consider. We try to stay within their price point and their monthly payments as well, just to make sure that they, something that they can afford. But I think one of the things we were talking about, like sometimes you can find those houses that were listed on the market that the agent probably listed the property a little bit too high, and it's been sitting for some time. So at that time frame, the seller might be getting a little fidgety, like what's going on. Exactly. So if maybe the price point is $5,000-$10,000 over versus what the buyer has, maybe you might be able to have some room to negotiate there. So you might be able to go back to the listing agent and say, hey, look, this is what we have. Is your seller, you might be able to work something out, whereas though you can get your buyer a good deal.
And now you were telling me a little bit about like you're making an offer on a property right now, and you went a little bit lower. Mm-hmm. Why did you go lower? You have a strategy behind that.
Yeah, so I know the market very well. Not only do I sell houses in that area, I live in that location. So I knew the property. Like I said, I knew the property was priced a little bit too high, and it probably was going to be sitting a little bit. So again, we haven't gotten an offer just yet accepted, but I do think it's one that will. So we offered them a little bit less than what it is that they wanted for the property, and ultimately we'll see. But again, the property has been sitting a little bit longer. It is a nice property. But I think the agent may have listed it a little bit too high for the market at the current time.
And now, what would you say about this, right? Because sometimes it's not necessarily the listing agent listed it too high, but the sellers, they're just adamant. Gave me like a list, price, to keep all those things into consideration.
So price, people, product, those are all the things that we talk about. It's
dropping bombs, yo.
Like I said, price, people, product. One of the things is, like I said, I've been in that situation where my seller was like, hey, listen, I want to go here. And I'm like, well, the market is stating this. Is there a possibility that you can get that? Maybe it's possible. So what I normally would do is I'll say, okay, let's list it at that price that you want to go in at. And within 30 days, if we don't see the amount of traffic that we think that we should get, maybe 30 or 45 days, then we'll go ahead and take the property and maybe bring it down to what the suggested price was.
Got you. And the suggested price being, because I know like even when you do comps and Bright, right, it gives you 3 numbers. Are those the numbers that you go by as well?
Yeah, definitely doing a market survey. So of course, I'll go and I'll go by the 3 numbers, and normally, depending on the property and what specs it have, we'll go ahead and list it comparable to everything that's around. But yeah, it would be the suggested number of which my recommendation, what was made, as well as what the seller, me and the seller can agree.
And it has to be these type of strategies, bro, that like got you to the 100K club, right?
Yeah.
Because like that's a huge accomplishment, especially for any entrepreneur that's a full-time entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Bringing in 6 figures, like that's, and then you even have a international business, right? We didn't even really talk about that. Yeah. So
I'm developing. I'm in a process of trying to develop my international real estate business in Mexico. It's a future business plan that I have for myself. Of course, when I retire, I think I want to retire internationally. But at the same exact time, it's one of those things where though you can sell property anywhere, and I think people should know that. Right, you don't have to just sell property in the same area in which you grew up. You can sell property in the next state over. You can do real estate in the next state over. But you can also do real estate in a foreign country as long as you understand the rules and regulations that apply to that country. So that was something I was doing back in December.
Now, do you speak Spanish?
No. You don't necessarily have to speak Spanish, though. That's the thing. A lot of the buyers are foreign buyers. So a lot of the buyers are either from Canada, or they're from America, or they're from somewhere in Europe. So most of the time they speak English.
And how do you get those leads like that?
It's just
good, yeah.
So it goes back to one of the things that we were talking about. Again, I can't say how I got those leads because I don't have the leads just as yet, but I do have a broker down there that I've partnered with to be able to get leads and things of that nature. So as I start to put that business forward, I would say the goal here is to educate people. Again, people might want to buy second homes or second or third or fourth homes, and they might want to say, "Hey, I want to buy a home in Mexico." Right, and I want to be that go-to realtor to say, "Hey,
that
okay,
guy, right?
yeah, exactly,
That Mexico connect.
Right.
Listen, we out here
right." So that connection to say, "Hey, you know, Kev knows how this works because he's
getting that
educated himself."
cartel money, Kev. What's up, man? You're an investor, right?
Yeah,
You got
so
5 doors, and they're all buy and holds, right?
buying homes, yep.
So now, are you looking to get into like the Airbnb space at all? I know, and I know we've been talking about content spaces,
Yeah.
and a popular platform is Peerspace, right? Where
Yes.
you can list the property on Peerspace and then use it as a content room. And as a creator, I know that that's something dope, right?
Yeah.
So have you ever considered that?
I have. I definitely considered it. I had a deal that came across my desk, and I was considering doing it. I think that once I get the property in Mexico for my own personal self, I think I'll go ahead on my own personal use. I'll go ahead and Airbnb that out, or RBO it, or arbitrage it, however.
Nice. Man, dude.
Yeah,
That's just crazy, man. Getting international money from real estate, right?
yeah. At some point, yeah. I mean, I think, and the reason how it's been a long time ago, man. I've traveled all over the world, I traveled to many different countries, right?
Okay.
And you know, when you travel to different countries, you think like, hey, what's this real estate like here? What's the real estate market like here? Can I own a property here? Can I do X, Y, and Z? So it's always been my goal to own a property internationally.
Listen, my father's from Dominican Republic, so I feel you because I'm trying to get some of those properties over there in DR. Pop, listen, let's go. But tell me a little bit about how you got into investing, right? Because you were telling me your parents, right? Your father's an investor.
So it's a little bit of an how should I say this? Like an emotional story, really. So not to be a Debbie Downer, but my father was killed in our neighborhood, and it was over a piece of property.
Dang.
Right.
I just want to say condolences because you know I lost my mom 3 years ago, so I know it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing.
And
so
it does something to you, right?
yeah, it definitely does something to you. So what my goals for that, again, we run off of that. Everybody has their big why. That's been my big why. So with that being said, I decided that I wanted to change my neighborhood, and and again, it's one of those things right now where I would say I haven't been as much successful at that. I'm still pushing forward and chugging along every single day. But that was my reason for getting into real estate investing because, and again, the properties that I have are in that neighborhood, right? So,
bro, salute to you. That's inspiring. You know what I mean?
It definitely is. I mean, like I said, that was my big why. That's how I got into real estate. I wanted to make a difference and make a change, and that's what I'm doing. So, like I said, the 100K is great, which I'm enjoying the success. But at the same time, the greatest success is helping the people that need it.
So, I got something I want to drop on you. Right? Did you see the Kanye West documentary?
I have not yet. My brother. Listen, man, I'm a huge Kanye fan. So
it's dope, and that's a little bit why, like, even about content creation, right? I'm real big on documenting, not creating, because like literally that's what he did. He documented his process. But when he first met Pharrell, right? And at this time, Pharrell was one of the biggest producers in the game. And, at this point, Kanye's really making a name for himself. But Pharrell looks at Kanye and says, even when you hot, still doubt yourself.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what that's like in real estate, entrepreneurship, right? Even when you reach those marks, still grind, still doubt yourself, right?
Yeah. Listen, man, that's so true. That's so true. So even when you have success, you gotta keep pushing forward and think, for me, like I said, that success is behind me, is what I'm doing today, now, right? And there's still, not to get too personal, but like with the changing in my neighborhood, that's a big thing for me, right? So that's where I want to have the most success at right now.
That's dope, man, because I was talking to actually one of my sellers, and he's doing some new construction in remembrance of his mom. And I just thought it was really cool because, my mom passed 2019, and, you know, the one thing that I struggled with was when my son was born, you know, because I was like, dang, my mom would love him. But the funny thing is my son looks exactly like my mom. It's weird.
That's a very interesting. I got 2 daughters and they both resemble my father a lot. But speaking about, you know, it's one of those things that's very interesting in real estate. Speaking about just having kids, just making sure, you know, where your assets are going and things of that nature that I think need to be educated in the community. And I think when we start to create more content, those are the things that need to be discussed as well, because you can buy a property. It's not a hard task. You know, you get with the right agent, the right lender, and all those things. A property can be acquired, but it's what happens after you acquire the property, right? So what happens I think we spoke about this a while ago.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, it's what happens after you acquire the property, and you know, or at life after death as well. Who gets the property? And those things that hurt certain communities.
Absolutely. And are you talking about like trust and stuff like that?
Yeah, like trust, wills, probates, all those things. Those things are super important. Because, you know, there's a lot of content out there about purchasing properties and people are starting to get it. But now there's another level to that, right? And even with investors, like you have a bunch of investors that are buying properties, but, you know, I've talked to some of them and they haven't had their estate stuff in order either. So that's a whole nother topic. But yeah,
financial planning and stuff like that.
Yeah, financial planning, financial literacy, all that, man.
So I just want to put it out there to, you know, all the viewers and listeners, like, get ready because we're definitely like, this is my guy right here. We're going to collaborate and do some things, but it's like whatever y'all need, right?
Yeah.
Like however we can help, however we can serve. I know, man, that's really why I really align with you, is because like that you went through with your dad. I can only imagine, you know, how that's motivating you and propelling you. And it's the same for even me, the way I used to live my life, the background I come from, being involved with drugs and, you know, mental health and stuff like that. Like, I would love to be able to reach those type of people with this good news.
Of
you
course.
know, it's like, you know, I had my experience in the church, right? You know, the good news, you know, the gospel, right? But the good news can also be real estate, right?
Yeah,
because real estate can be, you know, in all reverence, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But real estate can really change somebody's life.
Yes.
And it definitely has changed yours, right?
Yeah, it definitely has changed mine. I mean,
and how did you get into the investing?
So yeah, like I said, the investing came from, you know, when I was in college, I saved up my money. Like I said, I think I saved anywhere between $20,000 to $25,000. And then that's how I was able to get my first property. And, you know, I did the renovation. Anybody know your first property is your hardest one? And once I did that, it allowed me to make, like I said, I think I was making $1,800 a month, right? So I was bringing that in monthly, and with that $1,800, I was working, so I was able to save that money. And I'm just a big saver. And then once you save a certain amount of money, you realize like, hey, you have to invest this money. And that's how it happened. And I invested into my next property. And then once I did that renovation, like I said, I was able to get a HELOC on that property. And I think the HELOC was for like $80,000, and I had some money and invested that. And that's how we snowballing.
So and then it just keeps going, right? It just keeps flowing.
It keeps
almost
going.
Like Monopoly, right? Like real life Monopoly.
Right. It keeps going just as long as you can find the deals and make sure that this makes money. This is going to make money for you, and this works out for you in the manner that you need it to.
And about finances, right? What else do you invest in? Because like I know we've had some conversations like crypto, NFTs, you know, different projects, right?
Yeah. So I'm learning the crypto and NFT industry. So those are two places that I'm going besides real estate. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm learning right now. I'm learning about investing in gold as well. But the biggest thing, man, and I think we don't talk about this, and this might hit home. The biggest thing is to invest in myself and into my children, right? Because that's the honest to God truth. Because there's nothing that you invest in my personal opinion, is a guarantee. Right,
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I have more control over investing into myself and you know, making sure.
And I'm glad you touched on that because and I respect your time. Walked into the office, right? You were like, dang man, I like how you have it set up. Of course. But that's because like I'm investing in myself. Like
right.
I'll put the guarantee on myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Different courses and education.
Exactly.
Just for instance, like I've been fortunate enough to not only bring my credit up, my wife's credit up, but countless individuals, clients, other realtors that I gave different resources to. But it's like, once you have the education, because I knew that if I would invest in this course, as long as I get the education, I don't ever have to, deal with it again, because now I know. Would you give any new entrepreneur coming into the game?
So for a new entrepreneur or a new agent, I think the best thing to do is to get a routine.
Absolutely.
Right? So, the best thing is to get a routine. One of the things I do that I strictly stick to is at least a morning routine. So I box every single morning. I go to the boxing gym Monday through Friday. And that's my routine, because there's so many highs and lows in entrepreneurship.
The roller coaster, right?
Yeah, it's a roller coaster. And one day you might have, like I said, I had 6 or 7 deals I was going to close, and I got down to 1 deal 1 month, and it was a stressful deal trying to get it through. So that's entrepreneurship. You never know. But
Them
if you
late
can,
nights,
yeah,
right?
if
Those
you can,
lonely nights, right?
if you can stick to a routine, especially a health routine, and then a routine for your business, and then a routine for your your outside social life, I think that it will equate to success, or at least the success that you're looking for. Yeah.
Now, you have a fiance, right? Shout out to her. Is she an entrepreneur?
No, she is a registered nurse.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a registered nurse.
Shout out to her. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, she will be. She has some things that she's working on. I'm super proud of her. She's going to be working on her doula business. I think we spoke about that too at one point.
I think so.
Yeah, so she'll be working on that. But
like I'm married, going on 6 years this June. It's like, no, I'm just playing. I know, baby. Nah, I'm just playing. But my wife, we didn't grow up with this information, so I'm constantly trying to educate her and keep her in the loop. But sometimes, it's hard for the spouse to understand, because and I told you, routine, right? I found that coming into the office every day and building that routine, it just helps me out. My mental space and everything helps me get more accomplished. Because yesterday I worked from home, and I was kind of torn up about it.
Yeah.
My wife was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nah, I just, I gotta,
get out." Yeah,
exactly.
It's the type of person that you are, and the same for me. But like I said, I make it a goal. That's one of my goals. My goal is to come to the office at least 3 times a day. 3 times a week. I'm sorry. And it's a good feeling. It's one of those things where, though, when you come to the office, you have other agents that give you gems, right? That might give you some information that is needed. And you can, when you're going through a tough deal, you might be able to bounce ideas off of other agents, and it allows you to focus, right? So when you're in the office, versus being at home, you might want to go to the fridge, right? Or you might be in the office and you're honed in, you're on your laptop, you're doing your thing. So those are the benefits for coming to the office. That's why I get in here 3 days a week and make sure that, I'm zoned in.
And I know the other thing you're looking forward to do, and we're definitely going to be doing it, is creating more content for your business. And for anybody that's watching, and, you guys want to get plugged in as far as maybe just the education, or you say, hey, listen, I think I have what it takes to become a real estate agent. Start a career in real estate. Like, seriously, it was COVID-19, and somebody gave me the good news of real estate, and I right away I took action. I executed on it. I got signed up. It's a $150 deposit. Our school next door is literally a $150 deposit. That $150 changed my life, y'all. But I had to look at it as an investment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what real estate is. It's an investment. And right here with our team at RE/MAX Affiliates, it's a great community of like-minded entrepreneurs,
yes,
successful people, top producing people. Kevin just said his strategy, but my strategy is exactly his, because I'm getting nuggets from him right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have you ever considered starting a team, Kev?
Yes, I have. That is actually something that I'm working on this year as well. Starting a team, trying to get some other agents as well, educating myself to do so. So that is my goal for 2022, moving into 2023.
It's crazy because I got a similar goal. So, we're going to be bouncing. We just had Doreen last week, Lux Living Realty, and she's starting her team. Shout out to her. She already has some people with her rocking out. And it's just like, yo, we get to feed off each other, right?
Exactly.
Ah, man. Thing you would leave the people as it pertains to protecting themselves in a real estate deal.
Oh man, I would say to protect yourself in a real estate deal, if you don't know something, ask somebody with some experience. That would be the best way to protect yourself. If you don't know it, then don't go in with the idea that you know
Ask
it.
him, y'all. Ask him. Got the experience.
Yeah, that would be my biggest thing to protect yourself in a real estate deal. Just making sure that you're asking the questions that you don't know, because there are going to be things that come up that you're going to be like,
All right. And what would you say to the new realtor trying to get, just trying to get their first client?
Stay persistent. Stay persistent. Yeah, you'll get your first client, and then.
Because it's hard, man, when you first get started.
Yeah,
until you get that one.
It is. I think once you get the first. I think once you get at least some momentum, then it becomes easier, right? It becomes I didn't say it becomes easier, but you start to gain that experience, and because every real estate transaction is really different because you're dealing with different people. And
different
they have
situations.
different
it's like a puzzle, right? You gotta just
yeah.
piece it together.
Yeah, you gotta be solution based. You might like I said earlier, and many times there's many different reasons why people are moving, whether buying or selling a house. So you need to be able to come up with solutions for your clients, so that way,
from the schools to the neighborhood to the, man.
So yeah,
being able to just. I got you.
I got you. I'm and be resourceful as well.
People sometimes are so prideful and stubborn. Like, what you don't know, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But become an expert in what you do know, right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
We dropped a lot of content today,
Yeah,
man.
we
We dropped a lot
We
of
did.
content today.
We got some more coming.
100%, man. So listen, I wanna let y'all know that. If you guys got any questions, like real estate related, investing related, maybe you have a special request, maybe you have a special guest request, I don't know, hit us up. We got you, right? Kev, man, appreciate you and happy 3 years, bro.
Thanks,
3
bro.
years,
Appreciate it, man.
Listen.
Thanks.
Listen, y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all are tuned in to
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the network. Thank you very much. You know your network is your network. Let's go get this money, people.
Drop bombs. 100K Club.
Your network is your net worth.
Kevin
Get
Coles.
ready for that.
Give him a follow on Instagram, Kev_Coles.
Gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the network. Thank you very much. Did you know your network is your net worth? Let's go get this money, people.